You know who you are. You are the fan of the American muscle car, something that Dodge has delivered to us for years. For 2026, it gets a lot better. There is so much to tell you. Less expensive, simplified lineup, everything that you want. You get to pick your power, you get to pick your energy, and still Dodge is pledged to keep the price low. That's a lot to unpack in Scat Pack, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take you on a tour. I'm gonna show you what this car is all about and why, if you love American muscle cars, you need to see this one. About a year ago, Dodge came out with its very first all-electric Dodge, the Dodge Charger Daytona. And I will admit, I was smitten. All electric, 670 horsepower, all the noise you want or not. It could be your Zen pod. It is a two-door, but four-passenger, really, sedan, but it also is a hatchback. So it does all the things we love about a hatchback. It has all the heritage details that we love in a Dodge muscle car and all the muscle. 670 horsepower, that is entering Hellcat territory. But it was all electric. If you don't want electric, then it wasn't really for you. Be sure to follow along on our socials, subscribe to our newsletter. There's a link below. Of course, subscribe to us right here on YouTube and click on the links that we put in the corner. We put them there because we know you're gonna like them. So what else is new with 2026? Well, the next thing I'm gonna tell you is they're all Chargers. There's a two-door Charger. There is a four-door Charger. You can actually get this in a four-door model. It is on the same platform as the electric Charger Daytona. This one is called the Sixpack, and that's because it's powered by a six-cylinder twin-turbo Hurricane engine that you have a choice. To ensure that the Charger has something for everyone, there are three different versions. Starting at about $50,000 is the standard output. That is the six-cylinder Hurricane engine delivering 420 horsepower. There is the high output, which is the six-cylinder twin-turbo Hurricane engine delivering 550 horsepower. And at the very top, there is the Dodge Charger Daytona, 670 horsepower, and a price tag that starts at $70,000. Whichever version you choose, however, you do get a lot of great standard features, including standard all-wheel drive, either a two-door or a four-door version. The four-door adds $2,000 to the price. You get this really beautiful six-pack badge here on the front of the hood that I will show you. You get sports seats, the 12-inch multimedia screen, the 10-inch driver display screen, and a panoramic glass sunroof, which is really glorious. Ours comes with a few extra goodies, including head-up display, suede seats, and carbon fiber details on the inside for a full price of just a hair under $70,000. So this is the second time in its many weeks that I find myself up on the tail of the dragon. And actually, do you hear that? It's because I'm in manual mode. I decided, because this is a very curvy road, to use manual shifting, which is the way to go in a car like this. Less braking, more shifting in the Dodge Charger Sixpack. This is a great road to drive this car. You gotta be careful because we are at an elevation here, and this is a windy, curvy, twisty road. I'll turn the camera around so you can see this road. Speed limit on this road is 30 miles an hour, and that's plenty. That is plenty, because you're not really going to go a lot faster than that on these curves and these twists. It's pretty intense, but also really fun and true to a real performance track. I'm hardly getting out of third gear. I might pop it up to fourth on a little bit of a stretch, just so I can downshift it to third when I get to the curve, and it feels pretty good. So now I'm in auto, and you can hear that, right? You hear that? And it's not super loud, it's fine. It's actually a little quiet when I have my foot off the accelerator. But now I put it down into sport, and you hear it a lot more. And that is where sounds good and it feels good. It also handles really nicely, which is not surprising, but considering how large this car is, we're driving the two-door version, but there is a four-door version if you would like. It still is large. It's still larger than the outgoing model. It has the same legroom as the four-door model. And I bring that up because the handling of this is a consideration. And that's something that Dodge thought about in adding all-wheel drive and sport brakes and improved handling for this type of drive or any type of drive, whether it's comfortable or performance or challenging, whatever you got going on, Dodge wants you to enjoy every second of it. And I'm gonna say, it's pretty good. The Dodge Charger will look a lot like the Daytona, and it's notable for the new Dodge icon, which is right there underneath that front hood, and that light bar that spans the entire front face of the Charger. You'll notice there's a little bit of a hood scoop here that scoops out the hood to allow the engine space. It has that nice large Hurricane engine, so it needs extra space. But over here you'll find there is actually a 6-pack badge right here. They called it a bezel, but I would call it a badge right here on the front of the hood. You don't actually see that from the driver's seat, which I thought was a little bit of a disappointment. I would love to see that while I'm driving, but it looks pretty bad nonetheless. You'll also see the Super Bee here. This signifies the Scat Pack, and that is a classic heritage Dodge detail. Dodges going back into the 60s and 70s had those designating that these are performance cars. You'll notice here we have the dark wheel package and Brembo brakes right there. They are gray made to really be monochromatic with these wheels. And then you'll notice this lower cladding here that's gloss black. And overall, that gloss black detail is designed to set off the body color and give the entire car a sleeker look. You'll also notice here that we have side mirrors. They are carbon fiber. They look gloss black and painted from inside the car, but actually they are not. They are carbon. And then we have this glass roof here. Glass pane roof that looks dark on the top, and again it adds to that overall very sleek look, and that black roof really sets off that peel out orange paint that is the color of our test model. Over here on the rear you'll see that light bar extends across the back of the Dodge Charger, and again here is the new Dodge logo there. So Dodge pointed out something kind of interesting. So there's actually a little bit of a lip here, and then we have the spoiler here. And all of that lends to the aerodynamics of this car, keeping the rear end firmly planted no matter where you might be on the road. You'll notice the gas door is here, and then there are flush door handles here. All you do is just pull this little tab inside, and the door pops right open. Hopping into the Dodge Charger, you're gonna be very happy for these beautiful micro suede seats and this heated steering wheel. I'm gonna start it up because I am cold and I just want to put my hands on the heated steering wheel, and I'm gonna pop on the heated seat as well. I was not expecting cold weather. I'm glad I brought a coat. I almost didn't, but I would be nice and toasty warm in this car regardless. And that's a very welcome thing. I want to show you around the interior of this car and what you get standard, and then what you also get as a part of the premium package that we see in this car. It starts with this Squircle steering wheel, which I don't want to let go of because I'm so cold and my fingers are frozen, but it is a delight to hold. I drove it all day today through the mountains of Tennessee and into North Carolina, and it was really quite lovely. The steering wheel is flat on top and flat on bottom. This is a trend that we're seeing. It lends to visibility. It also adds a retro feel to harkening back to some of the old steering wheels from the SRT days back in the day. You'll also see the Dodge badge right here. Our driver assist features are over here. Our multimedia entertainment choices are over here. And here's our drive modes. And you can actually just toggle through all the drive modes, and there's custom, wet and snow, so for a day like this where it's snowing, auto, and then sport. And I want you to notice something. When I tap sport, it tells me traction control is off, and that is the default mode, but I can actually come over here and turn traction control back on, and it will show me traction control is on. In my opinion, unless you really want it off, you probably should have it on. When you put your Dodge Charger into sport, you can also do this. Tap vehicle, then tap dashboard, and under drive modes, you can choose rear wheel drive if that's what you would like. If you really want to drive with rear wheel drive, you can do that. You can also set up your custom modes over here. You'll also find under dashboard, you'll find your performance pages, and you'll find your race options. So if you would like to monitor or set things up for your time on the track, this is where you're going to do it. You'll also notice how the dashboard changes as you scroll through to different settings. So with custom, this is our dashboard, that's what our driver display looks like. In auto, this is what our driver display looks like. But in sport, this is what our driver display looks like. It actually gives you this nice little graphic of the Dodge Charger. The Dodge Charger also has manual mode, so all you have to do is pop the paddle shifter on the right side for upshift and on the left side for downshift, and you'll be able to see not only the gear that you're in right here, but you'll also be able to see it in your head-up display right there. It will display the gear you're in. You can customize your drive view if you would like by tapping this little button right here, this little page icon. You can tap that, and then you can toggle through the different choices. If I want to set up with just navigation, I can have that. I can set it up to show me display my performance times, my fuel economy. I can actually set up my screens however I would like. You can see this little toolbar up there. That's what I'm toggling through. So I can do screen setup. I can change my content layout on the head-up display. I can get my music there, my drive information, all my different details right there on my display. I can also toggle through here and see those key messages and key criteria right there in the center of the screen. We have our paddle shifters right back here, but we also have buttons here for the radio. So volume over on the right side and to change the radio station on the left side. That is an old school Stellantis or Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram detail that I've always loved, and I'm so glad that that is still a thing in these cars. There is a 12-inch multimedia screen here, and then there's a 10-inch digital display screen here right in front of the driver. This is a really beautiful screen. It gives you really good graphics and it's quite pleasant to look at, but if you don't want to look down, if you don't want to glance down while you're driving, there is also a head-up display here that shows you navigation. It shows you, it has graphics on the navigation, so augmented reality, I guess is what they call it. The head-up display has graphics to actually lay out the direction of where you're going and which turn you need to make next and where that turn will be. On the multimedia system, Dodge has spent a lot of time improving this system with better graphics, better function, and a lot of really cool features, including this one. Hey Dodge, navigate to the nearest Starbucks. And there we go. And it will take me to Starbucks. It will also set the cabin temperature. It will turn on or off the heated seats and the steering wheel, and it will change the radio station for you. I really love this system. But what I want to show you is how to set this up. So go to Vehicle here, and then you're going to go to Settings over here. And this is your menu over here under Settings. And I'm going to go to Voice right there. And you can see it has voice bargain. I don't really need that, but it also has the wake up word. And I could set it to, hey, you connect, or I could set it to, hey, you know who. And that now that system is here and waiting for me. Oh, I can actually even set it up as a mail too. Oh, how about that? Hey, Dodge, navigate to Starbucks.
Starbucks. This is everything I found. Which do you want?
All right, so I got to ask you guys a question. Male or female? We just heard the female. We just heard the male. Which do you like better? I think I'm going to vote for the female. A little more comfortable and familiar. But hopefully at some point, that male will be an Italian with an Italian accent, and then I'm all in. On the screen, you can add widgets. You can customize this however you would like. You can actually delete pages too. And there's some really nice apps in here. I want to show you this one under categories, and that is attitude adjustment. And this is where Dodge allows me to make everything pink. Check that out. Now all my ambient lighting is pink or purple, pink. And I really love that. But you could set it however you would like. I think they had it set to orange because that is really the penultimate Dodge color. Plus our car is orange. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm gonna make it a little more orange, orange. Peel out orange. And there we go. So you have this nice opportunity to customize the color however you would like to, whatever it is that suits your mood. We have a standard rear view mirror here. There's an upper console here. This is where you'll find the lights. This is also where the latch is for the lift gate, and you have your dome lights here as well. Inside the car, you're gonna see this really great ambient lighting story. Look at this beautiful panel. So this is sort of a carbon fiber panel, and there's ambient lighting down here. It has this almost architectural look and feel to it. You'll see the ambient lighting back here, and this back panel that surrounds the dashboard. You'll see the Charger name right there, and then you'll see more ambient lighting here. Below the multimedia screen, there is a panel here for climate control. It's capacitive touch, meaning it's touch sensitive. So I'm able to turn up or down the temperature and set the fan and then the defroster there, and also our AC settings there. Our vents are right here. Down here, there's a nice little panel. This is where you'll find the auto stop start off, the sensor, lane keep assist, traction control, which is off right now. I'm gonna turn it on because we're in sport. Here is launch mode. This is for your drag strip style launch. And then we have 2 USB ports. There's a dual phone pad here. The side next to the driver is not powered. The side next to the passenger is powered, which means it will charge wirelessly. This is our gear shifter. So it pushes forward, or you kind of pull. It's like a trigger style. You pull this trigger and you push it forward for park and pull it back for drive. There is low mode as well if you find yourself needing low mode. 2 cup holders here. A nice little place to pop your key if you decide to carry the key with you. Here is our stop start button and then our parking brake, and then underneath the armrest, a nice little storage space for all your little things. You could actually also pop a phone right in here if you wanted to. It fits nicely right there as well. If you'd like to put your phone there and you don't want to look at it, you can pop it right there, and then you can actually also plug it in right here if you'd like to as well. But there's a 12 volt. The interior of the Dodge Charger is quite elegant and designed to deliver that elegant feeling no matter which package you pick. Ours is finished in micro suede, and it has this dual stitching in orange and white. It has door pockets there, bottle pockets there on the door, and then these really beautiful carbon fiber suede seats. There is the panoramic sunroof. Over here on this door panel, here are your dials for your mirrors, window controls, locks, and then this. And this is something that we saw in the electric version of the Dodge Charger Daytona, and we've seen this also in some of the other electric versions. I think this might be the first time we've seen it in a gas-powered car, and this is an electric door handle, or a powered door handle. And all you do is you just pop this, and the door pops right open. There also is an analog mechanical opening there. So if for some reason the car loses power and that battery's dead, you could just pull this and this will open the door. So I know I've told you that the rear seat is big, but how big, you might be wondering? Well, let's climb in and find out by pulling the seat back. And it's pretty big. So this is set for me, and it's just popping right back into that spot where I had it. And it was pretty easy to climb in and out, I'm gonna say. And look at my knees. My knees are not butting up against this seat at all. Now, if you get the 4-door version, this rear seat will be the same size. You'll just have a door here instead of this panel, but it is designed to give you the same amount of space, whether it's 2 doors or 4 doors. The doors are going to be longer or bigger on the 2-door version. The 4-door version will have smaller doors, might fit better in a garage or a parking spot, especially if you have people in the rear seat all the time. But if you don't regularly have rear seat passengers, you just need a rear seat occasionally, or maybe for your dog, this might be the ideal size. I do like the size of this. There's plenty of room for kids' car seats. Getting back here to install them might be a little tight, but you do have plenty of room. You have plenty of room for passengers, plenty of room for your dog, and plenty of room to clean it all up when they make a mess. Like that. Okay. And now to exit. Easier said than done. I'm just going to say, if you're ever going to put anybody in here who's over about 10 years old, get the 4-door. I will say Dodge did a nice job of hiding the hatch button, but it is right here, just to the right of the Dodge logo. And check out how big this cargo space is. It's actually quite huge. There's a little bit of storage, tiny little bit of storage here underneath the floor, but the seats fold flat, so you do get quite a lot of cargo space. Come here, let me show you. The cargo space in this hatch is really big, enough easily for suitcases for 4 people, groceries, even a couple of hockey bags are going to fit back here. There's plenty of space for all the things that you need to carry in this hatchback. There's also a nice cargo cover here that will keep prying eyes and daylight out of your hatch. And even though it's certainly not an SUV, it is a lot more space than the average trunk, which is something that I really appreciate. And because this hatch is tall, they added a hatch closure button right there. You just push that, and away she goes. Spending the day driving around in freezing temperatures with snow flurries all day, not my idea of fun. Doing it in this car, absolutely my idea of fun. But I really love what Dodge has done here. Simplified the lineup, simplified the pricing, made it easier to pick the one that you want, and made the one that you want a lot more fun. 670 horsepower at the top end for the electric version, 420 horsepower at the entry level, which is pretty amazing. All-wheel drive is standard. This design is standard. All the heritage details are standard. There's a lot more to love in the 2026 Dodge Charger.